Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada had various topics that he presented very, very strongly for very good reason. To reflect for just a moment, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Desha Tarane. Srila Prabhupada came to present to the world, first to the Western world, and then because India is so respectful of the Western world and Western people becoming devotees, then this is how he preached to India also, by having so many Western disciples. But what was he preaching? What is this Gauravani Pracharane? Ultimately, this Gauravani Pracharane is the mood of the love of the Manjaris. It is very, very, very high. So very high. In fact, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was leaving this world, shortly before he left, he regretted that actually he'd wanted to talk about these subjects, but he was spending so much time in challenging the atheism, impersonalism, sense gratification, sahaja, Sunyavadi, Buddhism, all these things, because these things are gripping the minds of most people. In the same way, Srila Prabhupada, he addressed these subjects mostly in his preaching. So much of his preaching, you're not the body. The higher subject matters he presents, especially in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. When we read this very, very carefully, he's explaining such high things. But so much energy spent in challenging Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi. One of these topics is evolution. In fact, Sripad Bhaktiswarup Damodar Maharaj, his discussions with Srila Prabhupada, especially him, formed the basis of this wonderful book, Life Comes from Life. And then from these discussions, the development of the Bhaktivedanta Institute. This is such a dear subject to Srila Prabhupada's heart, evolution. But since he has disappeared, different things are going on. One thing is, this is not being so strongly focused on. The devotees in general, in fact, even senior devotees who've been around for a very long time, I have had discussions with some where they have said a couple of things I found frankly surprising and very, very disturbing. One is, they do not see that evolution is very relevant anymore. It was simply a subject. When Srila Prabhupada was here, it was relevant. It was relevant for preaching. No, not so, especially since science has made it so clear and proven and obvious that only a fool would dare to say, no, evolution is bogus. And in fact, these persons went so far as to tell me how Srila Prabhupada, his education was very limited school, limited understanding, limited science. I think they forgot that Prabhupada was himself a chemist. But anyway, aside from that, they actually said, point blank, even writing, Srila Prabhupada was wrong, made mistake, and this is one very good example. I was horrified. And the reality is that evolutionary teaching is still very powerful in society, and now it is clear that not only we have to preach very strongly about this to the whole world, but devotees need to understand something about Srila Prabhupada. He doesn't have material senses. He is a representative of the spiritual world. He's under Yogamaya. He's not under Mahamaya. took on a apparently material body with apparently material senses. I say apparently because there is nothing mundane about the pure devotee. And if his body, under the influence of Yoga Maya, seems to get old and sick, yes, Krishna's body also did so many things. Krishna did so many things to allow for the conditioned soul to have his independent understanding of everything. We're allowed this. But you should make no error. There is nothing material about any aspect of the pure devotee. Mind, body, senses, intelligence, life, 100% a spiritual manifestation. Any other understanding is a serious guru aparad, a serious misunderstanding of the entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness, and you must immediately reject it. It will destroy your understanding of Krishna consciousness. There is no compromise, no meeting place between the spiritual energy and the material energy. None. Zero. Srila Prabhupada said, not in an occasional aside, he said, Darwin ruined everything. Ruined material society. I kick on his head. And anyone who is challenging this Darwin teaching is directly Sankirtan, is directly therefore serving Mahaprabhu, serving Radha Krishna, serving Rasalila, because there is no difference between Rasalila and Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. None. So this is a very important issue. And I meditated on this subject for over 20 years, actually after hearing from Sadhuputa Prabhu, a very great devotee of Srila Prabhupada's, and I understood that this material society, materialism, is 100% standing philosophically on the theory of evolution. The theory of evolution explains that everything got here by virtue of matter only. The reason that we are here is the random behavior of matter. Life, consciousness, everything came from matter. Single cell up to human being. If this is our reason, intellectually, philosophically, our reason for how we got here, it is also our reason for what to do now we're here. It's the same thing, reason. That means our reason for continuing is materialism. In fact, science, there is a scientific term, materialism, which means the explanation of everything in material terms, and that is what modern science does. It does not consider any spiritual possibility because it can't. It's an empirical process. It has no access to transcendence. So anything transcendental is irrelevant. So its entire process is to seek material explanations. If it's not material, it's outside the realm of science, it's not scientific. And in today's world, if it's not scientific, it means it's not true, it's superstitious, it's personal, it's nothing to do with reality. We're locked into this paradigm of materialism through material science, and the foundation of material science, which is why Prabhupada gave so much attention to it, is Darwin's theory of evolution. So by challenging this theory, we're challenging materialism, and we're challenging the entire blockage towards the spiritual process of gaining knowledge, which is not empiricism, but the descending process, hearing from authority. So this all being said, I also want to share with you the book that I have written. Became a bestseller on Amazon. It's an ebook, and we are looking to do much more to get it in front of the uninformed people, misinformed people. It is called The End of Evolution, ? And my legal name, Martin Lyons, is there also. But you will see its purpose. It's very cheap. It is not to make me rich or famous. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for really providing so many opportunities for me to know at heart what a complete idiot I am personally. And I am not motivated in this by pratishtaha, but I want to serve Prabhupada very much in this area. And this book is written in a way to make his teachings very available and relevant and accessible to the material world. I do not talk about Krishna and the spiritual process till the end of the book. Otherwise, people would not look at it in this light initially. And I want them to do that. I want them to read Srila Prabhupada's philosophy without realizing they're reading Srila Prabhupada's philosophy at first. So it will also be very useful for devotees, especially devotees who are being influenced by this nonsense that evolutionary theory is no longer anything we need to be concerned with. Actually, it's true, and we just have to let people know it's Krishna's way of doing things. It is not Krishna's way. Just ask Srila Prabhupada. Don't listen to people who do not yet know the truth and who are thinking that Prabhupada was compromised by the material energy. Please don't listen to them. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you.